We don't talk about Bruno, but we will talk about Encanto in this episode of Disney Jeopardy. 3,351 clues have come and gone, but 26 brand new Disney trivia questions are headed your way as part of this 124th episode of the most magical game show on Earth. It's Disney Jeopardy time. Welcome in. As always, I am your host, Bryan Perri, and I mentioned it at the start of the episode. Encanto will be one of your 5 topics today, specifically Encanto music. That's because the film won the Final Jeopardy wheel spin last week. And since I've already done an Encanto category in the past, today we're focusing on the music from the 2021 film. That's not all you'll be quizzed on, though. I've got 4 other categories as well. So without further delay, let's take a look at the board and see what I'm going to stump you with today. And there she is, Encanto music, batting leadoff in episode 124. The second category, I'm very excited about this one. It's voice matches. I will display 4 different Disney characters on your screen. All you'll have to do is pick the 2 characters who are voiced by the same person. The third category you'll be playing is sequel names. That's followed by the theme park category of post-2000 casualties. And finally, the club DJ member category of the week is behind bars. Everybody wants to go to jail, apparently. I shouldn't say everybody, but 59% of the club DJ members selected this category. It was all about characters who are kept in captivity at some point in a Disney or Pixar film. With that, it is now time for the easiest round of the game. It's the cupcake round, serving you up some cupcakes to make you feel good about yourself before I turn up the difficulty just a tad. The 200 pointers begin with Encanto music. This fella shows up during the surface pressure song in Encanto. Who is he? Well, he doesn't look like our hero from the late 90s, but that indeed is supposed to be Hercules.
Under the surface, was Hercules ever like, yo, I don't wanna fight some?
On to voice matches for the first time. There you go, you've got 4 characters on your screen. Pick the 2 that are voiced by the same actor. The correct answer are the 2 on the left. It is Pacha from Emperor's New Groove and Sully, of course, from Monsters, Inc., both voiced by John Goodman.
Excuse me, I'm here to see Emperor Kuzco. You see, I got this summons.
Inside, up the stairs and to the left.
That was awesome. What am I doing? James P. Sullivan.
We move on to sequel names for the first time. The only Disney sequel to feature a fraction in its name. Now, I guess you could question whether or not it is a sequel, since it takes place at the same time of the original film, but I think you knew what I was talking about. The correct answer is The Lion King, 1.5. All right, it's now time for the theme park category of post-2000 casualties. This is all about rides, shows, attractions that have been nixed in the new millennium. Can we still call it the new millennium? The current millennium. The 2000s. The first one is worth 200. Accessible by raft, this piece of land at the Magic Kingdom closed this week after welcoming guests for multiple decades. Yes, this one is very fresh. The correct answer is Tom Sawyer Island. It is being removed at the Magic Kingdom for a Cars-themed area. People are upset that Disney is inserting another IP into their park, but I guess technically is Tom Sawyer not an IP, kind of, right? Kind of, sort of. Hey, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Just asking questions. By the way, if you really miss Tom Sawyer Island that much, you can head over to Disneyland or even Tokyo's Disneyland to experience their versions. All right, here comes the final clue of the cupcake round. Despite his terrifying look, ironically, it was this character who led Aladdin out of his dungeon, and yeah, I guess to the Cave of Wonders. Now that is a disguise. It looks nothing like him, but the correct answer is Jafar.
Things aren't always what they seem. So,
It's all mine.
what is it? No!
Cupcake round complete, which means it's time to shift back across the board and take on Encanto music again. This one's worth 400 points. The first song on the soundtrack, and the first one heard in the film. Correct answer is The Family Madrigal.
Welcome to the Family Madrigal, the home of the Family Madrigal.
Here comes your second voice match clue. It's worth 4. Find the 2 characters who are voiced by the same person. Just like John Goodman, Alan Tudyk has voiced more than just 2 Disney characters. In fact, he's voiced well over 2. Probably over 10, I'd say. On this graphic, he voiced K2SO and King Candy, which is your correct answer.
These are prisoners.
Yes, where are you taking them?
I am taking them to imprison them in prison.
I'm King Candy! Oh, my loyal subjects!
Here comes your second clue from the sequel name category. The sequel to a Goofy movie. What is an extremely Goofy movie? On to post-2000 casualties. Operating from 2012 until the start of 2025, this California adventure attraction recently closed for the expansion of Avengers Campus. Will it reopen one day? That is the million-dollar question. The correct answer here is the red car trolley, and I sure hope so, because I feel like it's such an important part of the atmosphere in California Adventure. We're going behind bars for the second time. After eavesdropping on Mayor Lionheart, Judy and Nick escape a containment cell by going down one of these in Zootopia. What is a toilet?
Can you swim?
What? Can I swim? Yes, I can swim. Why?
One of my favorite parts of Zootopia is just a mere few seconds before they dive into the toilet. It's right here when Nick just accepts his fate that he's going to die.
Great, we're dead. We're dead, that's it. I'm dead, you're dead, everybody's dead.
By the way, we are only 138 days from the release of Zootopia 2, but who's counting? I'm counting. 600-point round now begins with Encanto music. The Encanto soundtrack was the first to hit #1 since this Disney film. I just mentioned that I am literally counting down the days till Zootopia 2. The last time I was this excited for a Disney film was the correct answer to this question. What is Frozen 2?
Now I turn around and find I am lost in the world.
Here comes your third voice match of the day. Find the 2 characters who are voiced by the same person. Correct answer to this one is Lady Tremaine and Maleficent, both voiced by Eleanor Audley, who also has a big role in Disney parks. She is the voice of Madame Leota.
Serpents and spiders, tail of a rat.
You poor simple fools.
Why, Cinderella, you're not ready, child.
I'm not going.
Not going? Oh, what a shame.
Here come sequel names at the halfway point of the game. The full name to either of the Beauty and the Beast spin-off films. Again, same situation with The Lion King 1.5. Are they sequels? Not really, because they take place during the timeline of Beauty and the Beast. But the correct answer is Beauty and the Beast, The Enchanted Christmas, and Beauty and the Beast, Belle's Magical World. I have not seen either film. Let me know if either one is worth watching at double speed. Let's move on. Here comes post-2000 casualties for the third time. Closed in 2003, this Disneyland attraction took you from one end of Mickey's Toontown to the other. What is the Jolly Trolley? Final clue of the 600s belongs to Behind Bars. Alan A. Dale is a rooster who gets thrown in prison during this Disney film. Correct answer is Robin Hood.
If you couldn't pay your taxes, you went to jail. Yep, I'm in here too. Nottingham was in deep trouble.
Time for the most underratedly, that's not a word. We're gonna go with it though. Time for the most underratedly difficult part of the game. It's the 800s. It's Encanto music. At the end of this song, Isabella tells Mirabelle that she's a bad influence. It's Isabella's time in the spotlight. Correct answer is, what else can I do?
You're a bad influence.
Here comes your fourth voice match of the day. Let's see if you can do it. Well, the actor who is the focus of this graphic right here is Phil Harris. He voiced everyone's favorite bear from The Jungle Book. That is Baloo, of course. Who's the other character on this graphic that he voiced? That would be, get the name right, Abraham DeLacy, Giuseppe Casey, Thomas O'Malley.
Well, now. Ha ha. What have we here? Now, that's quite a family. Come and think of it, O'Malley. You're not a cat, you're a rat.
You gotta write the full name. The full name or else... Alright, I'm kidding. You get an extra point, though, if you went with the full name. Or the coolest cat in town from the Aristocats, Thomas O'Malley. And for those keeping score at home, Phil Harris also voiced Little John from Robin Hood. Here comes sequel names for the fourth time. The full name of the Santa Claus 3. Starring one of my favorite actors, Martin Short. The correct answer is Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause.
Walt Disney Pictures presents Santa Claus 3, The Escape Clause.
Post-2000 casualties for 800 points goes like this. This ride now stands where the Maliboomer once stood at California Adventure. What is Inside Out? Emotional Whirlwind. Final clue before the 1000s, it's Behind Bars for 8. Clint, Scott, and Wanda are a few Marvel characters that spend time in this high-security prison from the MCU. Correct answer is Raft.
This is Raft Prison Control. You are cleared for landing, Mr. Stark.
You gotta watch your back with this guy. There's a chance he's gonna break it.
Hank Pym always said you never can trust a Stark.
Okay, 20 clues down, 6 remain, including Final Jeopardy. But before we get there, hold on. You know what time it is. It is time for the most overly dramatic, soundtrack-infused, unnecessarily spotlighted part of the game. The 1,000-point round. Hit it! As we get set for the 1,000-point round, shout out to everyone who went on to DisneyJeopardy.com over the last week and submitted clues for the Encanto music category. It's time to read the last one. The final fan-submitted clue of the game, worth 1,000. The award-nominated Dos Oruguitas translates to this in English. Correct answer is 2 caterpillars.
Dos oruguitas enamoradas.
Here comes voice matches. Final clue. Find the 2 characters voiced by the same person. The final correct answer in this category is thanks to Disney legend Catherine Beaumont, who voiced both Alice from Alice in Wonderland and Wendy Darling from Peter Pan. Here comes your final clue from the sequels category. The full name of the Air Bud sequel where he plays baseball. What is Air Bud 7th inning fetch?
Air Bud has done it again. It's brand new adventure in Air Bud 7th Inning Fetch. Coming to Disney DVD and video this summer.
We're on to post-2000 casualties. The Liberty Bell Riverboat was once home to this short-lived show in conjunction with the release of 2009's Princess and the Frog. Final clue on the board before Final Jeopardy belongs to Behind Bars. It's worth 1,000. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, includes a scene where this famous musician portrays Jack Sparrow's jailed uncle. There should be a captain in there somewhere. Captain Jack Sparrow's jailed uncle. Who is the musician? Talk about lineage. First off, Captain Jack Sparrow's father, Captain Teague, was played by Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones, who Johnny Depp credits with creating the aura of Jack Sparrow. But his uncle was a different musician. His uncle was played by Paul McCartney of the Beatles.
It's not, don't listen to a word he says, it's not true.
No, wait, I think we actually met in Hebrew school, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I am actually his rabbi.
And I'm a Moyle.
See that? Not everything about Pirates 5 was so bad. All right, 25 clues are down and one remains. Just so happens to be the one clue of the game that will ultimately determine how proud of yourself you will be for the next 7 days. It's Final Jeopardy time, which means it is time to spin that wheel. It's the Final Jeopardy wheel spin to determine your final clue of the game and ultimately one of the 5 categories in next week's episode 125. So without further delay, let's check out the wheel spin and see what I'm about to quiz you on. Hot diggity dog, it is the greatest film in Disney history. Yes, I know I said Zootopia is my favorite, but let's be real. The Lion King is in a league of its own. Now, the problem, of course, is I've already done The Lion King, so just like Encanto, we'll be focusing on the soundtrack to the 1994 hit film. So make your wagers based on how knowledgeable you are about those award-winning Lion King tunes. Now, here's a fun question to ask you before we get to the final clue of the game. Does The Lion King have the greatest soundtrack in Disney history? I will go out on a limb and say, yeah. Every single song on that soundtrack is so good. I'm going to put up a poll right now for anybody to be able to vote in because I'm curious if that is the favorable opinion. If you disagree, make sure you leave a comment below letting me know what does indeed have the best soundtrack in the history of Disney. Now it's time for the Final Jeopardy clue. Let's see what it is. The only song in the film that doesn't include a lion's voice singing. Good luck. And time is up. Now, originally, I was going to ask this for the Final Jeopardy clue. Name the 2 songs from the film where you don't see a lion actually singing, but I thought the answer would have been controversial and debated because I would have included Can You Feel the Love Tonight? You never see Simba and Nala actually singing during that scene, but they're singing in their heads, so then it would have been debated, and I said, forget it. Instead, just give me the only song in the film that doesn't include a lion's voice singing. Correct answer is the film's first song. What is Circle of Life? And that does it for episode 124 of Disney Jeopardy. Cue up The Lion King and prepare for next week's episode 125. It's never a bad time to watch The Lion King. Perhaps the greatest film in the history of the Walt Disney Company. I would say it's the greatest film in Disney history. It's not my favorite, but it is the greatest in my humble opinion. What will join the Lion King soundtrack in next week's episode 125? That is up to the club DJ members, the greatest people of all. Will they finally pick Brother Bear to get over the hump? Will it continue to be a runner-up? Only time will tell. Head on over to the community page to lock in your vote. You can also head over to the community page if you want to vote in that poll where I asked, does The Lion King have the greatest soundtrack in the history of Disney animation? Now, you know the deal. If you like what you saw, do me a favor, subscribe. Click that bell icon. Hello, bell. This way, you're notified every time we come out with brand new content. I've been your host, Bryan Perri. I will see you next week when The Lion King finally takes its rightful place as the lead-off category. Episode 125 comes out next Friday. I'll see you then.
Bye-bye.